their own.
Thank you very much, countrymen and women and the youth of our country. Tuesday, December 2024, the long and much awaited for presidential eligibility judgment, as you all know, has been delivered by the Constitutional Court of Zambia. As government, we want to take the opportunity, firstly, to thank of our country and those stakeholders in the government for you and their patience and courage before, during, and after delivery of this historic and landmark judgments. We take special recognition, notice, and appreciation to the judiciary, particularly the Constitutional Court, for rendering this judgment. We further note the sobriety and simplicity with which this landmark judgment has been rendered for the ease of the citizens and all interested to follow and understand, notwithstanding that the whole language was couched in legal terms. We believe who followed have understood the gist of the judgment. And as government, and a government of laws, therefore, we welcome and respect this judgment as delivered. It has put to rest a plaguing and nagging national debate which has consumed national attention, including international attention, for the last 3 years or so. We believe that this judgment now brings clarity and certainty to the law and promotes the predictability of law and ends years of active speculation by many citizens and active arguments, if reasonably expected. So all well-meaning lawyers knew that the law had only one side on this matter, save those who had other exterior interests to serve, we believe, than that of respecting the rule of law and ensure that justice in our country, the pinnacle and hallmark of our governance. As a government, we believe that the rule of law is being restored in our country, and also not just restored, but now respected. Respect for the rule of law is a cornerstone for political, economic, and national security. That the judgment in itself is anchored on the law and no other consideration or persuasions. That is to say, President EDGAR LUNGU has not been barred or blocked from contesting 2026 general elections or any other beyond. Rather, it is the fact that he is in a league does not qualify. Clarify that this judgment was not about blocking former President Lungu. It was not about barring him future elections. It was about resolving the question of eligibility, to which it was his eligibility, and the courts have pronounced themselves. Therefore, as that President 𝗘𝗱𝗴𝗿 State House or any other government functionary has had a hand in this judgment, merit or basis whatsoever. They are and must be as such to be mere political rhetoric and all well-meaning Zambians and beyond should dismiss such kind of assertion, the deserving contempt. Clearly today, even those who were arguing that former President Lungu was eligible, them being lawyers, if you look them in the eyes, you only get one reaction, that the court and justice are not just doing justice, but that justice has been seen to be done. Therefore, going forward, our country now needs to move from this dark chapter, perceived manipulation of the law for political expedience, as we have before or previously, or violation of the law with impunity, persuaded by any, be it to include, now going forward, as no place. The country will know that in the last 10 years or so, we have had a number of plaguing national questions of violating national constitution and other laws. We do believe that this judgment serves as a reminder to all who are given the privilege to occupy public office that the law is what it is and it is accountable, because the law is supreme. And this judgment has also shown that we are all equal before the law, and that the judiciary itself has acquitted and are accountable to the law, to itself and to the city. By delivering a judgment we believe is firmly anchored on the law. I must extend here that this, how it should have been, in fact, with the court of first instance. We are firm as UPND government that even under extreme circumstances for which we are not prepared to indulge ourselves in, that those in office attempt to manipulate the judiciary itself not manipulate the law, because that is the anchor of hope for all the citizens continue to be governed in an orderly and just way. It is now time to hatchet. And remember also that in 2016 we had a very national constitutional question which related to ministers of administration under the former president being led to continue to occupy their ministerial offices and carrying out functions using state resources erroneously. The court once more pronounced itself. So these examples of violating the law should not become the order of the day. That is why the government led by President 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗏 𝗟𝘂𝗃 is steadfast on ensuring that the rule of law prevails in this country, regardless who the victim, regardless who the complainant, respondent, regardless who the applicant, regardless who the interested party in those particular proceedings is. And to that extent, 𝗂𝗃𝗄𝗏 has reiterated his firm commitment and desire to apply the law fairly, without fear, and that the goal is to attain social justice for our people, and that is what accounts for the electoral mandate for which this government is in office. It is now time for the former President is in office. It is now time for the former President EDGAR LUNGU, to take up and assume his right space and place as a statesman. I also wish to that this judgment, in our view, is not meant to bar the former president continuing to participate in the politics of his country, our country, because that is his constitutional and democratic right so to do. The law says if he wishes to take up active politics, meaning taking up an elective position within the realm of his political party, then that is where we talk about issues of benefits of a former president. Due to this matter, because I keep on receiving calls of concern, particularly in the media, especially the international media, some of whom still contend or perceive that the former president has of his former president's benefits. No one has done so. It is by of law. And so, that is it for today. We once more acknowledge the veracity of the law that today the judiciary, particularly the Court, has acquitted and made itself accountable to itself, to the citizens, and most importantly, the law, because the law is supreme. We hold a view this judgment has been arrived at, and we, after diligent and research, to ensure that the nation gives and closure to this kind of debate, and that going forward, no one who has been elected and served as president twice, his or her time is over, should think of manipulating the judiciary in an hour so that they may continue to stay in office, or that they may vie for a term for which they are ineligible. For us in government, this is a lesson that the law, in its slowly, but it gets to be done. One, to take this opportunity to urge all our citizens that in the wake of this judgment, they remain calm and optimistic that their country will continue to be governed with peace and order on the basis of the rule of law. Going forward, therefore, President HH and his administration's core attention and function is to work in promoting the economic recovery of our country, which is already in motion towards stability, to ensure that we rescue our people from the doldrums of poverty and unemployment. The President 𝗍𝗂𝗏𝗂 is optimistic that even in the midst of this drought and national disaster and emergency, the governmental measures that have been put to mitigate and ameliorate for the sufferings of our people have and continue to yield tangible positive results. The Cash for Work program, emergency social cash transfer. The social cash transfer itself, community made sales by FRA, 𝗿𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗿 by ZNS and its allied MILA, and other interventions such as the Green Pack that the government has put in place to empower families to do wetland farming, even during drought for those areas where they have water font. The national drought are issues that have made the lives of our people better than if those measures were not in place. And therefore, I would like, on behalf of government, to assure the nation that peace and unity will continue to prevail in this, as we look forward to what we believe will be a very active 2025, which comes as an advent year to a very important general election of 2026. Now remains to wish all our citizens and our motherland Zambia a very happy Christmas and a very joyous New Year, and that during this period of festivity, we encourage our citizens to use it as a moment to reflect upon the grace of God that has befallen this country for the whole year, that we are now coming to the end of it, and thank God for all of us, life and peace in our country. Let us endow responsibly, knowing very well that once the festivities are over, President HH will be back with his message of work, work, and work, working hard, turn around the fortunes of our country for better. I thank you, dear colleagues. A good day, countrymen and women.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.